Hello, folks. Brandon Chapman with you. It's February 18th. It's the TheoTRADE Wednesday video. Normally I do Mondays, but Don is busy and I didn't do Mondays, so we're going to do Wednesday today. So anyway, let's look at the S&P 500. We're basically up about 0.6% today. And basically, if we're to kind of describe the market condition currently, is we're trapped in a box, otherwise known as a volatility box. Well, where's this box? It's from 6,800 to about just under 7,000. Right? It's a 200-point range in the S&P. It's 3% back and forth and back and forth, back and forth. And what does today show you? Well, we're basically bouncing off the lower end of the volatility box at 6,800. And where are we going next? Are we about to get back again towards 68, 69, 80 or 7,000 in the coming days? It might be a very real possibility. And as we look at what's performing today, or more importantly, what's not performing today, as technologies advanced nearly 1% off the lows, guess what's experiencing the pressure? Utilities, right? Utilities are down basically 1.6% today. We're down decently from the high. We had this initial surge. We reached the target range, prior high, and now we're pulling back. Did you know this move was telegraphed? Right? But the point is, last week we saw a situation where if technology was up, staples were down. If staples were down, technology was up, or vice versa, right? So technology down, staples up. We saw this pretty significant rotation over the last about month. Is this rotation now over? Are we about to say risk on and XLK is about to really lead the market higher? And we got the saber rattling with Iran. And who knows, right? Is technology really about to break out to the upside, or are we just going to see or continue to be trapped in an ever declining or ever compressed range as we continue to just winnow into an apex and then maybe a breakout later? I mean, if we're to draw lines to kind of reflect what's going on, off of the bigger lows here, off of the bigger highs, what volatility is doing is compressing right now. And right now it looks like with lower highs and higher lows, we're really compressing out towards this apex here by the end of February. Something's got to happen soon. But where's the bigger move likely to occur? It's probably to the downside. If you look at skew, for example, this is the option market volatility. Yesterday, we ticked a little higher to 140. These are very elevated levels historically. The market's hedged. It's pricing in a bigger downside move than an upside move. But it doesn't mean we can't just continue to grind and get back towards 7,000 and seeing technology lead the way in the interim. It's a possibility. But what we saw in utilities last Friday was rather significant. There's the bell. When you have a move like this in utility stocks, don't you really want to short it? But some were looking at this and saying it's a buying opportunity. But using the Ghost Print Surveillance Console, we know a little bit better than that, right? So I'm going to take this back. This is February 13th. Oh, sorry, I forgot I didn't change it. And we'll go in here. We'll take a look at XLU. And what you'll see is there's three trades. Well, really there's two trades that were bought at the ask. There were puts being bought and calls being bought. Well, the puts were 15,000 contracts and bought pretty far out of the money. Now, when you see a move like this and all of a sudden they're buying 42 puts, probably not a hedge. It's probably a trade. And so what does this do? It kind of gives you a target and a time frame, right? In this case, $42 by when? Well, by when? By June 18th, right? So I'm not really one that likes to play that long. So on Friday, I put on a long put vertical. I bought a 46.50 put and I sold a 44.50. And today I closed it out for about a 37% gain. Why did I preemptively take my losses? What if the market starts to turn back tomorrow and all of a sudden we see strength in utilities and we see that rotation back around, we retest highs? I'm just going to short it again, okay? To be honest, if we get back at 47, get back to 46.50, I'm going to take another swing to the downside. But this was a pretty fast move, a chance to get 37% in 2 days. I took it off the table. Well, guess what else I did? Today, I was looking at the SPY, for example. I got a bunch of lines drawn on this one, but I did a 1 day. Well, let's go 1 day, 1 minute. We're kind of in this range here. And I said, look, if I can get to 689, I'm going to buy a put spread. So I bought a put spread today, looking for this thing to get down to what? 687 was the one I sold, but I'm like, if I can get $1, I'll do it. and I closed and we got down to 688 here, and I closed out for about an 80% gain. I was looking for 100%, and boy, that could have really worked out, getting much more out of it. But the point is, I had a presentation I do. I didn't have time to babysit it. I was looking for 100%. I took it 80 in about 20 minutes. But this is what the market's doing, right? We're trapped in a box. We're up and we're down and we're up again. So the point is that playing this range is not necessarily a bad strategy right now. Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to identify opportunities? Well, if we look at today, and I'm just going to show you the surveillance console for today, I go back here to the 18th, and I'll let that load while we look at the market. What about silver and gold? Are silver and gold about to make a move off of their lows? We're seeing a little bounce here today in SLV. You look at GLD, another little bounce today. Could these maybe get back to 500, maybe even 480? In SLV, what if it just gets back to 80? That's a big move normally, right? But we have an opportunity to trade that move in SLV or SILJ. Well, today, what you are seeing is they are stepping in today and they're buying call options. Let me take a look at SILJ for you today. So we look at SILJ. Resell my filters. SILJ. Oh, well, I'm missing something here. Or SLV. I think I might have looked at back on the 13th on those ones. Anyway, but SLV today. What are we seeing in SLV? Notice down here, the 70 calls, those are being sold. We'll focus on stuff being bought. And we'll say, look, 11,000 contracts buying 83 calls for June 18th. And so if I just kind of expand this out here, let me expand the location. And we'll notice we bought an 83 and sold an 89. So how do we use this information? Well, we go back to SLV and say, look, we got a target, right? In SLV, we got a target here. What's the strike prices again? Let's just go back. You'll see what? They bought the 83, sold the 93 for what expiration by June 18th? So what could you do? Take a swing, right? 83 to 93, that gets you up here. But again, you don't have to go that high. Look at the trade tab here, right? Let's go 30 days out and say, let's just look for a small move, right? We're seeing bigger moves being priced into SLV today with some of those trades. What if we just went a little bit out of the money here? Let's look at a 71.73, buy deep and wide, 1 month 4 strike vertical. And notice we're going to cost you about 80 cents. You just need 73, right? 73 is right about right there. You don't need a big move, right? You got to move to 73. We can retest prior at 77. You'll be out of that trade for maybe 70 or maybe 100% gain in a matter of days if we just get to where? 75. Okay? There's ways to trade this market. You don't have to take the big swings right now, right? Take the incremental swings. We're trapped in a volatility box. We had minutes that came out today, right? Did it move the market? Not a lot. Where's it going? Could we retest highs? Yeah, we might just roll over and break lows again. You might need to take some smaller gains right now, just realizing the volatility box is pretty tight. And you know what happens to caged animals, right? At some point, they're going to break out and they're going to be angry. And what's likely going to happen to the S&P 500, we're probably going to break out to the downside. There's been a significant amount of put option buying in a lot of products. The Qs yesterday, the Qs today, all this stuff going on right now. IWM, there's a big roll there. Again, we're seeing all this gamma being built to the downside. If somehow we can walk out of this and crawl out of it, then maybe that gamma exposure goes away or expires. But if we start to turn and break, now we're talking the gamma pressure being applied and the gamma squeeze is on. And that's going to be the bigger move we're looking for. To be honest, if you're a bull, you want to see the market break down here, don't you? I mean, some of your best opportunities are when you get a sell-off of some magnitude, you get the biggest rallies off of these points, and especially those kinds of moves. So the bulls right now, you probably should have more cash. If we do sell off, you get plenty of opportunity to start to go long and probably see much bigger upside moves as skew starts to reset, but to a lower level. And it'd be great if skew could get back down here 115, 120, really unlocking the bigger potential of the market. Even last April, we only got down here to 125. But these kind of levels do start to crack open the bigger upside moves, and then we'll see who stands on their own. Staples and utilities right now have benefited a lot just because they're not technology. they're not AI, right? They're serial stuffs. But even serial stuffs like GIS didn't really work out there. The stock gap lower yesterday, had a big sell-off. And again, XLP has not been a winner the last couple of days. But if we just revert back to selling technology, maybe we need to see all of these sectors start to get pulled down, including staples and utilities. I already got a bearish trade in staples. I decided to take utilities off today and let some other stuff begin to kick in. But right now, it's just good to probably have a little smaller presence in the market. Take your swings intraday, take your swings for swing trades for days to maybe weeks. And if you get a bigger profit in a day or two, look to probably take it off the board like I did today in XLU. Just give you some ideas of how to handle the volatility box. But remember, caged animals can get aggressive. And for the market generally, getting aggressive means a bigger downside move. So we got to lean into that when it happens, and we got to lean into the upside when it's over. Well, folks, that's all I got for you today. We'll catch you back on Monday for the video. Have a great one. Thank you.